Welcome to Subbaraj Academy. You are attending a course on programming in C++, object-oriented programming in C++. The emphasis of this course will be to learn object-oriented programming with C++, standard C++. There is a standard issued by International Organization for Standardization and ANSI, American National Standard Institute. So we will be discussing C++ constructs as given in the standard C++. There are many versions of C++. I am emphasizing this because we are going to learn the standard C++. So, programming paradigm, there are two paradigms of programming. One is procedure oriented and the second is object oriented. We may be happy to know that C++ is both a procedure oriented language as well as an object oriented language. Unique, not unique, even Java has this feature, even Python has this feature. So it can do both. You can write programs in a procedure oriented manner as well as object oriented. But C++ became popular because of its object oriented programming concepts. How did C++ evolve? Jordan Stroustrup of AT&T Laboratories is the architect of C++ programming language, a living. In 1980, it was then known as C with classes. The name C++ was coined by Eric Machety. And from then on, from 1980 on till now, the language has been evolving. A number of, in fact, it has been, I'll just tell you, in the year 1998, the standard came on C++, ISO IEC 14882. It was released in 1998. And from then on, new versions, new releases, new amendments to standard came. In the 98 version of C++, you may not understand whatever I'm going to discuss now, but just listen to me. Later on, you will understand what I have talked. In 1998 version, STL, Standard Template Library, was introduced. Vectors, lists, algorithms, iterators, they were all introduced as part of the STL. And exception handling is an important feature of any language. So that was also added in the 98 standard. Namespaces and the support for function operator overloading, and they were all introduced in the 98 version of C++. Bool as a type was also introduced for Boolean values in the 1998 version. Then came 2003 version. It was minor revisions only. Okay, not much. Okay, minor revisions were made in 2003 version. Then 2011 had more revisions. They introduced auto keyword for automatic type inference. The loops you can also do with the ranges. So range-based for loop added for easy iteration over containers. Lambda expressions is a very important concept, very short code. They are called anonymous functions that were introduced for inline function objects. And many more. Multi-threading support was introduced with thread library and so on. 2014 version had some more revisions. Generic lambdas introduced to simplify lambda expressions. Binary literals and digit separators were added, improved number representation. Variable templates added to support templated variables. Okay? And then came the version in 2017, year 2017. Saw some more revisions. Inline variables added to allow definition of variables in header files. And fold expressions, parallel algorithms were introduced for parallelized execution. That is, you can use a parallel computer to execute C++. That was facilitated in the 2017 version. Okay. Then came the latest version, C++ 2020. The number remains the same, ISO IEC 14882. Okay, the year of release will follow that. In the 20th version 20, concepts were added to enable concept-based generic programming. So three-way comparison operators, ECS operator was introduced for consistent comparison of operations. See? Ranges library added, providing unified approach to sequences and ranges. Calendar and time zone support were added to the standard library. So nevertheless, the core of C++ lies in the 1998 version. So our course will be more or less based. I will also introduce some of these concepts when we discuss. Will be based on the 1998 standard version of C++. What are the advantages of C++? C++ was created by C, programming in C. C++ is an extension of C, rather. C can only do procedure-oriented programming, and C++ can do both procedure-oriented and object-oriented. The ANSI ISO standard has led to compatibility amongst C++ compilers and enhanced portability of C++ program across platforms. Okay, so portability has been improved in the various updates to C++. The standard has helped in increasing the portability. According to Jarne Stroustrup, the founder of the inventor of C, I would say you can say inventor of C++. So what are the reasons for choice of C as the base language? Because C is the base language for this. See, this all C code will run in C++ programs, C++ runtime environment. See, you can type the C program as it is in C++ compiler, it will run. So the reason why you chose C as the base language was versatility and suitability to interact with the hardware. C is very suitable because of pointers is very suitable for interacting with hardware. You can directly address the hardware. And C was also portable across platforms. And C is preferred language for system programming tasks. And so is C++. And C and Unix, they came together. And millions of lines of codes or library functions available in C, which can be used in C++ program. But of course, C++ has got its own utility programs. So when we talk about object-oriented programming, I'll try to explain to you briefly what is the difference between procedure-oriented and object-oriented. In procedure-oriented, you visualize the program as a procedure. You do this, you do that. That's the usual the portfolio programming, basic programming, COBOL programming. They were all procedure-oriented programming languages. So there, the data did not get enough importance. That's why it went to data integrity problems. And many big projects failed because of data tampering. So the object programming gives adequate importance to data. It's in fact the database programming. Okay. So there the class is the main feature. The class is nothing but is the user-defined data type. You may be knowing other data types like int, float, etc. But class is user-defined. You can define your own class and use it as a data item. The class, there are two components of class. The attributes, which are called state or data members, the data. For instance, suppose you say the person, his attributes, name, class in which he is studying, his height, etc. And behavior are member functions. He runs, he plays, he jumps, that's the behavior. So a class comprises of both the attributes and the behavior. Whereas in procedure-oriented, it was mainly behavior and data was given. So that led to people tampering with data and spoiling computer systems. So class provides a blueprint for creation of objects. So basically, the object is a dynamic thing. Class is a static thing. For example, as I told you, you can create a class for a student, and that is the blueprint. You may say that name, roll number, class, or year of engineering. That is the attribute. Then his actions will come with using the class. So the object is an instance of the class. Murugan is one instance of the class. Gopal is another instance of the class. Joseph, another instance of the class. So from a class, you can create as many instances as needed. So the instance basically is object oriented. Basically, class defines the object characteristics, and from that you make objects. So one of the important advantages of object programming is it gives data abstraction. Each object will have external interfaces through which it can be made use of. There is no need to look into the inner details. So it is sealed. Basically, the class is sealed, encapsulated, and with interfaces. The interface is given by the member functions. So you don't have to look into the inner details, but you can operate, you can carry out operations, okay, using the interface. The object itself may be made of many smaller objects with proper interfaces. The user needs to know only the external interfaces to make use of an object. So that's why it's called data abstraction. Internal details of objects are hidden, which makes them abstract. Okay, so this data abstraction is one of the characteristics of object programming. There are other characteristics like reusability. Object-oriented programming is reusable easily because it's organized as classes and objects. So reuse the same class for a new requirement is quite common. And as I told you, the class is encapsulated. You will not have access to the attributes, but you will have access to the member functions. Got it? I told you, class has got two components, the attributes and member functions. So the attributes you don't have access. You cannot modify. But you can use the member functions to interact with the class. There are two other characteristics called inheritance and polymorphism. So they are the characteristics of groups. Inheritance is nothing but one class can inherit from another class. Like in human beings, a son inherits property from the parent. Similarly, you can do it in object-oriented programming. Polymorphism is one name, many functions. Okay, I'll not explain much about it. We will know it later. So the advantage of OOPs are one is reusability. That's a very big advantage because whatever work you have done can be reused in the next project. And the programs are maintainable. Each class is self-contained with data and functions. And the functions are grouped together. Therefore, object programs are easily maintainable. It's natural because the software object represents the real objects. Let's say, like I told you, a student, a teacher, okay, a tree. Tree may be an object also. Or, a bank account. Okay, all these are objects. So they represent the real objects. So it appears very natural for programming. And modularity. See, modularity is now observed programming is obtained by dividing the program into well-defined and closely knit classes. See, when you make an object programming, your job is to make classes which represent the whole program. They are well defined. There is a rule for making a class, and they are closely knit. And they are extensible. The object-oriented programming are extensible, whether C++, as you know, C++, Java, C Sharp, Python, they are all object-oriented programs. Examples of object-oriented programming languages. So the programs you write here can be easily extended by using the inheritance features. Above all, the data integrity is very high in object programming. So there is no go to statement, no global variables. Okay, and and the data members cannot be accessed easily by a common program, common man. It can be only done by a skilled programmer. Okay, these are some of the advantages. You will know more about it as we go along. Now I'll give you some simple programs, sample programs, and simple programs. See, there are a number of integrated development environment for developing programs. One of them is Microsoft Visual C++, Visual Studio, in which you have got Visual C++. I'm going to use CodeBlock. These are the open source software. You talk to your system administrator and find out which compiler you can use. So basically, you must be knowing that any program that is written is called the source code. And that source code has been compiled and it will be built and run. Okay. Maybe later on I'll give you the full flow chart. Now let us look at a simple C++ program to give a feel to you. So this is the program. I call it this. The slashes are called two slashes together. They mean it's the beginning of a command statement. And whatever I write from here till the end of that line will be treated as a comment. So this won't be executed. Example, d1x1.cpu will not be executed. It's only for information. So program starts here. We have an include statement. Invariably, you will have a hash include IO stream. See how it is the angle the brackets are the angle brackets are where less than sign equal greater than sign. You put the IO stream between less than sign and greater than sign. And include is the command. The hash include IO stream. So IO stream is a library. You have to include library. Why you have to include? That will help you to read and write. If you want to read or write any program, you have to include IO stream. That's why I told you that this will be included almost in every program. So I can write this program without object orientation, but to give a feel to you, I'm creating a class, empty class, E1 capital C, E1x1, and then the opening brace, closing brace, and there is semicolon after this. In fact, in C and C++, you will find a lot of semicolons. Every statement will terminate by a semicolon. So this class contains nothing, but to give you a feel, I'm making the class. So you have the main function where STD cout. STD is standard input-output device, which is keyboard and video monitor. Keyboard is the standard input device, and video monitor is the standard output device. So cout. Okay, I'll explain to you what is cout later. Basically, it's an object. Cout, I put the same, two angle brackets. With the quotation mark, double quotes, I'm putting Om Vinayaka. End of double quotes and semicolon. Note the syntax. So int main, a function, main is a function which will be there in every program, every C++ program. And there is a parenthesis to indicate any parameters are passed. Then an opening brace. So this is a function. This whole thing is a function. Okay. This whole thing is a class. So we have a class, and this is a preprocessor directive. This is called preprocessor directive. So in the main function, I am saying cout. Standard cout means using the standard output device, you print Om Vinayaka and return 0. So this is the function. So the result of the program is given in blue color. Om Vinayaka will be printed. Whatever I type here will be printed. Let me show you some more modifications on this. So I can say the same include IO stream, main function, cout. I have the angle brackets, Om Vinayaka. See the double quotes before and after. Then I have another angle bracket. We worship you. So what I'm doing is here I have given a space also here. So I'm going to pass two strings. It's called string. Whatever you put within double quote is called string. I'm going to pass two strings to cout object. So it will print Om Vinayaga space we worship you at the same line and return 0. So again, this program is written without a class. This is a procedure-oriented program, no class. So when you can concatenation, it's called concatenation. Concatenate two strings. Okay, I am simply putting the angle brackets, two angle brackets, Om Vinayaga space, again end of quote, angle brackets, we worship you. And the semicolon, don't forget, I written 0. So you get the output like Om Vinayaga, we worship you. Because the space there, so you get a space here. So the first sample program I wrote in an object-oriented manner using a class, and the second program I wrote without object orientation. So now we'll go to sample program 3. So here again I'm writing it. In fact, no. The initial chapters we'll write programs in a procedure-oriented manner. Later on, we'll do with object-oriented program because we can exploit the features of procedure orientation and object orientation in the C++ program. This is sample program 3. So here I'm doing, you remember I'm putting cout. Whenever I call cout, I'm calling std. So, but which I can avoid by saying using namespace std semicolon. If I do that, then I don't have to put std cout. It knows. So this is the variation from the previous two program. I'm using a namespace std into main cout Om Vinayaga. What is this? This is called escape sequence, escape character. It will take you to the next line. After printing Om Vinayaga, it will take you to the next line. Then we worship you. Okay? Semicolon. So Om Vinayaga, we worship you. The output will be Om Vinayaga will print. Then the cursor will go to the next line and tell we worship you. What is the bottom? The bottom says object-oriented programming with C++ by Professor R. Subbaraj, Vikas Publishing. So all these slides, I'm the author of the C++ book published by Vikas Publishers. So for more details, you can refer to the book. So as I told you, the \n is the escape sequence. So we can see other escape sequence. It helps you to format the output. As I told you, the \n is new line character, line feed, you get a new line. \b is backspace. \f is form feed. And so on. You can have, if you want a single quote to be escaped, you put single quote. You want to insert a single quote within the string, you can escape it by putting a slash and double quote also. And the V is vertical tab. HHT is this percentage is horizontal tab. So these are the escape sequences used in C++ language. That's all for now. Go to the slide. But before that, you have to decide which ID you are going to use, whether you're going to use Microsoft Visual Studio or CodeBlock. There are many other IDEs also, but use an IDE which is compatible with the standard C++. It is not a simple task. You have to talk to your friends, talk to your system administrator, and install an IDE. Then you can try these programs. That's all for now. Until we meet again. Bye bye.